Hi everyone, welcome to this week's class. I feel like I haven't given a class or seen anyone in like years, even though we did it last week. Feels like it hasn't happened for a long time. So, welcome. Let's start with a short meditation. We can close our eyes to bring our consciousness to be more present, more open, more connected. Want to take a deep breath, do a long exhale, another breath, and another long exhale. And you want to focus your consciousness in your heart. And you want to start to feel that you are unified with everything around you. That you and whatever you're sitting on, the room you're in, the building, the house, it's all one. And then you want to feel that you're unified and one with the whole planet and the entire universe. And then start to expand and go through layers of light, layer of light and dark. And come to a very bright layer of light. And then a golden, then a jello-like substance. And then connect to the next plane, which is Creator's perfect plane. It's a beautiful, relaxing, soothing energy. No shapes, no forms, just pure energy of the Creator. And we want to be open, to open ourselves to hear what it is that we need to learn, what it is that we need to hear, what can help us become better versions of ourselves and become bigger conduits of light in this world. Okay, so this week is very special. It's we have a new book. We're starting a new book of reading a new book. So a lot of new energy is coming in. It's a new book. It's called Bamidbar or Numbers. It's also the new Moon of Gemini this Saturday night. So it's a new month, very, very different energy from Taurus. So a lot of change will be happening, a lot of transformation, we're going to feel very different from the Taurus that is heavy, that is, more consistent, more stubborn, to Gemini that's very light, very mutable, very changeable, all about connecting and quickness. So a lot of changes coming. And also we are still in quarantine, still in incubation, in transformation, but coming closer to a phase where we need to already start to interact and integrate with society more and more. So first of all, this week's portion, it's called Bamidbar. And it's a very interesting book. It's the fourth book. And through Sfirot, it corresponds to Zeir Anpin or Tiferet. So it's very much connected with the process, with a lot of restriction. So everything in the portions will be talking a lot about restricting, how we can restrict more, how we can go through the process. And it's actually very interesting. One of the aspects of sign of Gemini, they don't like processes. They don't like the long processes in life, right? They want everything quick because it's the central column, so it's a direct connection. So they don't like when things take time, when things, so a lot of impatience is going to come. So, you might feel more impatient and a little bit more connecting to thinking too much and analyzing and processing information. You might be doing it a little bit more than you need in this upcoming month. So you want to prepare yourself and you want to ground yourself. You want to be ready. You want to receive every tool you can that you're going to use this month, which is it's considered one of the most positive months because it has a holiday in it, holiday called Shavuot. So you want to prepare how I can connect to this month as much as I possibly can. How can I receive as much light as I possibly can in this time period? So the book of Bamidbar, it's a very interesting start off for the book. It talks about basically, we use the Torah as a reference and as a blueprint of knowing what kind of energy is coming. And this week's portion, it starts by just counting. Literally, if you read the portion, it's really not so exciting. It's just counting how many people were in this tribe, how many people were in that tribe, where did they go, their exact placement. And literally, like, the whole book is about that. And there's not much else going on. So there's a lot of structure coming in, a lot of structure and the way things have to be. And a lot of details and specifics, which is not something that the sign of Gemini usually likes. Sign of Gemini is all about big picture, all about, quickness, not being so detailed oriented. So this portion, it gives you the ability to go into the details, to see what, to be more comfortable, not to be so against details and long processes and work and, all these things. Another thing that it gives us is the ability to go about astrological signs, because each, I don't know if you know, but there were 12 signs in the desert. So basically the people that came out of Egypt, there was around 3 million people, and they were divided into 12 tribes. And the number 12 is very special. Obviously, it's not a simple sign. It's a sign of physical reality. It's a sign of our limiting beliefs, and it's something that we need to go above. So every time we're gonna hear a name of a tribe, you meditate to overcome the limits of that sign. But most importantly is how it's connected to the time right now. How is it connected to the time that we're in? It's not about something that happened a year ago, 2, 3, or 4, 100, or 1,000 years ago. Needs to be very practical now. And the way it can be used by us is more to connect to our core, more to connect to what is important to us, what is really, really not most, but what is, or most also important for me. What really makes me happy? What really makes me fulfilled? What is my true purpose in this world? What's my true purpose of coming into this world? But one of the amazing things about isolation is that isolation brings you quietness. Isolation brings you an ability to be in a state of quietness where you can really see what's happening inside of you. And there's no growth that can happen in life without you looking in and seeing what it is that I need to change. So all this time is helping you come face to face with your inside. So if you feel discomfort, if it's hard, if it's difficult, if it's not easy, it might be an indication to look within and see, okay, what is it that I want to change within me? Very important. I want to look at what it is inside of me that what I want to improve, that I want to make better. How can I be a better version of myself? Right? How can I be a better version of myself? How can I use this priceless time to overcome my vices, right? My laziness, my stubbornness, my judgment, my depression, my getting upset at people, etc. All these vices, how can I overcome it and be the ultimate version of myself that I am meant to be? This is the number one goal that you should be having during this time, is setting high goals, high standards for what I can achieve during this time. We always say, whenever I'll have time, I'll do this. Whenever I'll have time, I'll do that. Whenever I have time, I'll read a book, I'll journal, I'll listen to this lecture, I'll learn a new language, I'm gonna reach out to this person, I'm gonna clean out that closet, etc. Right? We always say when I have time in the future. Right now, we are having all that time, right? We are having all that time that we always say we want to have, more than even. It's a little bit overwhelming. And right now is the time to do it. Right now is the time to do it, to at least to enjoy, obviously, to enjoy the time, to, watch TV, do the things that you like, watch movies, talk to friends, etc. But set aside where you are being productive, where you're investing into yourself. And this is how you want to find out more and more, where do I come from? What is the origin of my soul? What is the origin of my soul? To be respectful to it also. You don't want to totally destroy where you're coming from, to be respectful to it, but at the same time set a mark for yourself of what I am meant to be. What do I want to do? What's my vision? What's my vision for myself for the next year, for the next 5 years, for the next 10 years? Yes, right now it's very hard to make physical visions, right? Like a physical vision of me. I don't know, if somebody wanted to open a restaurant business, it would be hard to make that goal and vision right now, right? Or maybe they're having some enlightenment and they're receiving it right now. But most of the time right now, people are not having physical plans, right? But you can 100% have spiritual plans in your life. Make a spiritual plan of what it is that I want to accomplish and what it is that I want to achieve in this time. So what are some tips that you can, just short tips that I wanted to share with you that I think is very beneficial. So one tip is journaling. I've said it before, but just journaling, writing down things that you are going through, experiencing, emotions that are happening, events, whatever it is that you're going through, to journal it, to write down, I would love to accomplish this. I would love to achieve this in my life. I would love to accomplish this. And make it more internal within you, yourself, the creator, and obviously other people. That will be the best. If you set your mind onto those goals, that will bring you the most success in your life right now. Now, a lot of people are having tough time with mental clarity and kind of like mental breakdowns, and people have a lot of stress and people have a lot of anxiety about what's going on. So this is very important to understand, that your mind, it has approximately 90 seconds to make a decision of what I'm doing with what I'm feeling right now. Am I continuing on it, or am I switching to something positive? Anxiety comes from worrying about the future, about something that not necessarily exists right now, right? I'm anxious, I'm worried about what might happen in the future, or I just don't like what's happening right now. That can also give you anxiety, right? But you have the ability, God willing, to make the switch and to decide, I'm not actually following this thought process. I'm going to use my proactive consciousness and focus on the positive. Okay? Use a spiritual tool, use the Zohar, 72 names if you have, use meditation, whatever it is that you have, use it in order to switch your mindset. So actually, the sign of you feeling anxiety, it actually pushes you to become a better version of yourself. So we need to understand that people that are going through anxiety, that difficult time, and feeling anxious and worried and stressed, it just shows that the universe is pushing them to their next level, to their next better version of themselves. Okay? So that's very important. Now, the ultimate enemy of humanity that we see right now that's slowly disappearing is stress. That's one of the biggest manifestations of how the opponent manipulates and controls us, is he gives us stress or worry or being stressful about what might happen. There's no reason why something might happen, but you're having these thoughts. You're like, oh, what if this happens? What if that happens? What if that? What if this? What is this? So this worry, this stress is probably the number one enemy in the world. That's what makes you be reactive. That's what makes you, be upset, lose health, lose immunity. I just read that the suicide rate in Japan is lowest ever because people are not experiencing any stress. There's basically no stress. People are not going to work. It's a little bit crazy, like how to think that what will happen in the future, but people are not having stress. So it's like, you're having a much better life right now. So it's all about understanding that you always have a choice. You always have a choice. It's always okay to feel whatever it is that you're feeling. Also, that's also very important. So don't deny and don't have shame and guilt about certain feeling that you're experiencing. That's another tool of the opponent, right? You don't want to feel bad that you are feeling bad. Admit it. It's fine. It's fine. Everyone feels different emotions. We're all human, and the more you feel, the better. But always remember that you have a choice of choosing which emotion you want to go on, right? Which emotion you want to promote and entertain more and more into your life. The ones that drag and lower your energy, or the positive ones. Now, also this time, it's very helpful to be in nature, because when you're stuck in the same, we actually love change. We love transformation. We need change and transformation most of the time. And if you're in the same place and same four walls, you feel like nothing is changing. And there isn't so much change. As much as you can clean and change, etc., etc., it's not so much change. Nature is constantly changing. Every day you go outside to look at the tree, look at the birds, look at the sky. Everything is continuously changing every half an hour. Like yesterday, the weather in New York changed literally like I think 4 or 5 times completely. So that's something that that you want to be connecting to. You want to be connecting to the natural processes in life. Okay, so journaling, that helps a lot. Not being in denial of emotions. Be vulnerable. Be open about how you feel. Don't keep it inside. Reach out to someone, whoever you can, whoever you feel safe with, and communicate how you feel. That's always going to make you feel better. Reach out to others and ask them, how do they feel? How do they feel? And be open with your own feelings, right? Because if you are not open about your feelings, it means that it's controlling you. It's going to always manipulate you. And the sign of Gemini is not the most feelings oriented sign. So this whole month, this we might have this tendency to push down the emotions and feelings and be like in denial of them and just rationalize and think and be superficial. It's a sign also. Gemini is a sign of superficiality, right? They love to. It's a master of a jack of all trades and a master of none, right? Meaning it loves to invest into many, many things, but doesn't go deep into any of them. So that's another thing that we want to develop, depth, in this upcoming month. So we are spiritually, this portion also that has a very interesting lesson in it, that one of the Kabbalists says that this portion acts always like a wall, that to separate what's coming and what was before. And obviously, it's also last week's portion also had the curses, had the 49 curses. So it says that this portion was placed specifically to separate whatever had happened before to whatever will be happening in the future. So it probably means that a big shift of energy is also going to happen this week and especially next week, where very, very big transformation is going to happen. But we also, the way you connect to it is you also want to connect to it on a personal level, meaning you want to see how it is that you can disconnect from the past, right? You always want to be moving on and being in the present. It's not about the future or the past. It's always being in the present. That's why it's called the present, right? That's from there. So the moment and the power of being present, that's always very essential. So we don't want to be connecting to stress. That's something that is obviously one of our biggest enemies right now or in general. We want to be more connected to the emotional state that we're in, right? We want to feel safe, and we want to understand that we are in charge of how we feel and what we feel, and that we can dictate and kind of control how we feel, when we feel, and what we do in general. The month of Gemini is also considered, the Rav used to say that it's the month of fusion, meaning connecting the upper and the lower worlds, meaning unifying things, two things that are not meant to be unified. fusion, in science, there is an aspect, there's a concept of fusion where they try to unify things that cannot be connected, that cannot be combined. And it says that the month of Gemini is able to connect things that are not usually able to be unified and connected into one. So we want to know, what does it mean practically for me? What does it mean practically for me? What does it mean for me that I'm going into this month, that I'm starting this new way, that I'm starting this new 30 days? What does it mean? What kind of a person am I? What kind of an individual am I? How is it going to affect me? How can I benefit the most from this month? How can I learn the most from this month? How can I contribute most from this month? So these are the questions that we want to be asking ourselves, right? You want to always be conscious and be connected and in the flow with the energy that's around us. So month of Gemini also has a very special holiday. We'll talk about it next week, but it's called the holiday of Shavuot, which in literal translation means weeks, but spiritually, it's the central column of the holidays. There is Passover, there is Rosh Hashanah, and then there is Shavuot, which is the central column. And it's very beautiful. The lesson, one of the main lessons of Shavuot, is that it's the cosmic event, right? What do we want to? Kabbalistically, we don't have holidays. We don't have a holiday that we're celebrating something from the past, and it's not really connected to the past. It's always about present. It's always about the future and about now. And the holiday of Shavuot, it's the day when the world, the nation of Israel, and all the nations received what we call Torah, or the ultimate Kabbalistic wisdom. That's when it was revealed. Now, what does it mean practically? So the way you are able to be proactive, the way that you are able to restrict, the way that you are able to look at your life is based on what? What bases your ability, your interpretation of the world around you? The consciousness that you have, the wisdom that you have, the knowledge that you have. This is what makes your processing computer, gives it ability to process what's going on and to make decisions and assumption and analyze things, right? So it's your software, you can say. It's like your operating system. We all have different operating systems. Every single operating system of every single human being on this planet constantly needs to be improved and upgraded. That's how you remain happy in this world. That you don't stay the same, you're consistently transforming it, consistently upgrading it, constantly. Never saying, oh, I had enough, that's it, I'm done with my change and transformation. If you do say that, the universe starts to push you. So you always want to proactively go, okay, what else can I do? How can I transform? How can I be a better person in this world? How can I be better to myself? How can I be better to people around me? How can I be more sharing? How can I contribute more? How can I remove more and more bread of shame from my life and from the world? How can I be a bigger contributor to the world around me? Okay, so that's the main question. Now, all this is based on what? What did we say? The knowledge, the wisdom that you have. Yes? Now, on Shavuot, all of the wisdom, all of the knowledge, all of the information, all of spirituality, everything that you have is going to be completely renewed. And your ability to receive new wisdom will be renewed completely. So like on Rosh Hashanah, for example, our physicality is renewed. Your body, it says that your body actually goes through a tiny aspect of death, and it's renewed. On Pesach, your quality of life, your ability to enjoy life is completely renewed. On Shavuot, your wisdom and your spirituality is completely renewed. So you basically have the biggest opportunity to connect to enlightenment and different perspective in your life. Completely. Now, how do you do that? What do you think? How can I make sure that I connect to it? What are the requirements? What do you need to? You don't have to answer, but you want to ask this question. Okay, so if my knowledge is renewed, how do I do that? How do I renew my knowledge? How do I make sure that, you know, that happens? And to be very honest, it's very simple. It's just like a computer. You have to be, first of all, open to it. You have to be, first of all, you have to know it, right? So the fact that you know this, you have much more potential to make that change and transformation already. But also, you have to be willing to let go, of the old mentality and to connect to the new one, to receive the new one, right? How does a computer work when it needs to upgrade? It first downloads the information, deletes upgrades the new one, and deletes the old, right? That's how you get an upgrade on the computer, on anything. So you want to come into the next week preparing to be letting go, right? Preparing with a lot of excitement. You know, it's the month of Gemini is much more naturally excited than the month of Taurus. Taurus is a little bit more down to earth, and Gemini is a little bit more up in the air. So that's why it's easier for them to enjoy things in life. So we want to be coming to a close of this time period, right? The time of quarantine. We want to, very important to understand that there is absolutely no going back to normal the way it was before. That's not what's going to happen. That's not what's meant to be. That's not why this time was given to us, that we're going to go back to normal. Our definition of normal is going to be upgraded. Just like our wisdom will be upgraded, your definition and your understanding of what's normal is going to be upgraded at the month of Shavuot. Okay? So there is no going back to normal. You do not want to go back to the way it was. You want to go back to something much, 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 much better. Much better. Now that requires a lot of effort from you. So you need to make sure that did I put in the effort? Did I make the changes? Did I work on myself? Did I realize things about myself? Did I spend every week of this quarantine learning something new about myself? What's new that you learned about yourself? What new perspective did you receive about yourself? What new understanding? What have you done? You want to start to come to a place of summing things up. So you want to start, this is such a unique historical time. I'm sure there's going to be books and movies and TV shows and whatever it is made. And, the wave of change is like, it's like a tsunami that's just like warming up, and the change is just going to come to us. Now, to make sure that this tsunami is merciful and comfortable is making sure that you're in this mindset also. You're in mindset of, we're not going back to the old. We're going to something new that has never been before. Never, ever we experienced something like this before. A complete change and revolution of the consciousness of humanity, completely. Just like some people, it's so interesting, some people are going through such a hard time right now and experiencing discomfort, pain, and all these negative feelings and emotions. And some people are having such a great time. They're enjoying it tremendously, right? Both at the same time, right? So what does it mean? It's like the time of Mashiach. When the time of Mashiach will come, there's going to be two camps. Oy the Ashrei. Always going to be the ones that are going to be suffering, even though Mashiach is coming, meaning end of pain and suffering is coming, but they're going to be experiencing pain. And Ashrei is going to be the ones that are going to be having an amazing time. Now, what determines what camp are we on? Who's the determining factor? Only you. There's no one else. No one else besides you and me and every single one of us that determines, am I going to be on Oy or am I going to be in Ashrei? And you definitely want to be in Ashrei, not in Oy. And the way you go into Ashrei is by practicing spirituality, right? By practicing spirituality. Like some of you are telling me that you're studying every day. It's amazing. Learning something new every day. A lot of, people have been able to invest into themselves, learn something new, find out things about themselves. One of my, I don't know if he's here, one of my students, he made a program for to support restaurants, right, and to support that industry. it's amazing how much innovation, how much transformation and newness can come from this time. It's really, really amazing. So we're also in the week. So I hope that's clear. I hope you guys are taking notes. I hope you guys are investing into this. I hope you're not just listening in one ear and that's it, you forget about it. I hope you process all this information, right? We're kind of forced to now. You're forced to process all this information and to learn something new, to experience something new, to come to a new version of yourself, a new upgraded version of you, right? And each one of us. So that's essential, and that's what's happening. That's what can keep us afloat always. And for us, if you're a student of Kabbalah, a definite 30 minutes of Zohar a day is not even a question, right? Not even a question. If you want to be connecting to the light on a daily basis and being in the flow, be protected, be healthy spiritually and physically, more and more, it's 30 minutes of Zohar a day is going to change your life forever. Investing and doing things that you've always wanted to do, right? Like taking this time and be like, wow, okay, it's like I'm on vacation. Make believe that I'm on vacation, but I can't really travel. I can't go to Bahamas or somewhere, somewhere paradise-like. I have to stay home, but I'm gonna use this time to invest into myself. Give yourself missions and kind of like goals, like we said in the beginning. Set goals and achieve them in your life. So that's the most what's happening now. Again, the mode of cocooning or incubating is kind of coming to a close right now, hopefully, right? Who knows, but the mode of coming to the summarization and kind of the closing of this time is coming closer and closer. And the new reality is something that we don't want it to be normal. So we don't even want to consciously be saying going back to normal or going back to the way it was. We don't want that. You do not want that. It's just shameful to be thinking that way. You're totally wasting this whole opportunity. We're going to a new world, new life, new opportunity, everything to be new, better, transformed, amazing, etc. So that's the consciousness of this week, to find out where I'm coming from, to continue working on ourselves. During this week, we have the ability to go above also the influences of the zodiac, because the zodiac is very strong in the sign of in the Sphira of Zeranpin. So you have the ability to go above it. I hope you're watching and have the ability to watch the Saturday Torah meditations in the morning. We're going to be mentioning it, how to meditate, how to overcome it. Next Saturday night, I just want to let you know, next Saturday night is the new Moon of Gemini. So it's an event with Michael, and it's like a fourth meal that's going to be this Saturday night. Next Thursday night is the holiday of Shavuot, meaning it's we stay up all night. So it's very easy because we don't need to go anywhere. We do it on our own at home. So it's going to be Thursday from midnight to sunrise, basically to dawn, which is approximately 4 a.m. So we want to stay up from midnight, from Thursday to Friday, from midnight to 4 a.m. It's the connection to energy of immortality, meaning no ends, completely removing death from our world and our lives. And that's another, and then another something very practical that I learned last week, and I mentioned it on Saturday, is how do you, yes, Alicia, this Saturday night is the new Moon of Gemini, 9 p.m. It's online, obviously. And the next holiday, which is called Shavuot, is next Thursday night to Friday. It's an all-night study, like Lag BaOmer. Whoever participated in Lag BaOmer, it's also, it's very similar to that. Now, something very interesting that I learned that is very practical and very physical about your mental state, stress, and your spirituality, actually. So the most the organ, the part of the body that is most connected to spirituality and your ability to be spiritual, I don't know if you know this, but it's actually the lungs and your ability to breathe and your ability to breathe properly. So it says in the Zohar that if a person, there's two kinds of breathing, and it's very interesting. I heard this TED talk. I'll put it in a group later, and it's actually from, as the Zohar talks about it also, about the same thing, that there's two ways that a person can breathe. That a person can just breathe unconsciously and not putting effort into it. And also the two ways are you breathe with your stomach, with your belly, or you breathe with your chest. So it's mind-blowing that actually whenever a person breathes with their chest, they're increasing anxiety and stress in their body. It's sending a signal to your whole body to say that we're in stress, we're in crisis, and we need to relax. The moment you breathe with your belly, it actually causes and sends the wave of relaxation, calmness, and de-stressing to your whole body. So this is, we always want to find more and different ways of how I can be more in tune, how I can be more connected. Very simple way is to become more conscious of how do I breathe. Am I using my upper body, my chest, my shoulders, and my neck to breathe, meaning like this, which is actually an indication of stress and increases stress in your body? Or am I using only my belly to breathe? So if you ever feel like you're feeling anxious, worried, stressed, out of comfort, etc., the ultimate thing that you can do to bring even physically calmness is to start taking deep breaths with your belly. And there's actually a meditation that you meditate on letters. Maybe I'll have time, I'll put it together. Instead of transforming the letters Mem and Yud to Yud and Mem. So it's actually a combination of letters that you change the moment you do proper breathing. It's from the Zohar. It's mind-blowing. So the moment you properly activate your breathing, you're actually tuning yourself into spirituality, into receiving and making the right decision, into understanding better, into being calm, into having certainty, right? Because stress causes you uncertainty and doubt and worry, right? So the moment you bring relaxation, calmness, serenity, and tranquility into my soul, into my consciousness, that right away I can make better decisions in my life. And a very practical way of doing it is being conscious and controlling your breath. When I'm not breathing properly, I'm causing more stress into my body. So it's obviously, it goes both ways. Like, probably because you are stressed, that's why you're not breathing right. Your consciousness is not right. That's why, etc. But you want to also know that actually I can do physical things to improve my breathing that will improve my state of mind. Now, very, coincidentally, very ironically, what is the organ that's connected to the sign of Gemini? It's the lungs. It's also where all your emotions are. All your emotions are in your lungs, are in your breathing and in your diaphragm. So the more properly you use your lungs, your diaphragm, your belly to breathe, the easier it's going to be for you to process emotions. You're not going to be controlled by the emotional state so much. It's not going to be like, oh my God, end of the world, what's going to happen, this and that. You're going to be more relaxed. Everything is going to be much better. And actually, I'll put out the video also in the group chat so you can watch the whole video. But a very simple way of doing it is you only completely relax your shoulders and upper body, only use your belly for breathing. And when you breathe, you expand your belly and you want to feel your ribs expanding also. And you're meditating to bring spirituality in. Also, ironically, very interesting that the avir, which is air, is connected to spirituality, or ruach, in the upper levels of the soul. So the moment you breathe properly, you're connecting to higher levels of your soul. So when you breathe a very quick, this is from that video that I got, but it's a physical way, but it's very helpful. How to calm yourself and tune yourself in the proper mindset very quickly is to start breathing with your belly, and you start counting. When you inhale, you take 1, 2, 3, 4. You hold for 4. Then you exhale for 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold your breath for 2 and continue. And this is apparently the ultimate breathing of how a person, if they breathe this way, they're completely bringing oxygen, they're bringing health, they're bringing ease, relaxation, enlightenment into their body and soul. So this is very interesting that, the month of Gemini, again, it's all about talking. They love talking. They're very disconnected from their emotions, from their emotional state. They don't like to deal with feelings or emotions. So that's why their lungs can have an effect. It can have an effect on their lungs. So the way to counter it, the way to do the opposite, is to practice meditation, proper breathing, not in being in denial of whatever it is that you're feeling, to be totally connected with it, not to disconnect from it. Okay, so that's the class for this week. Now we're going to do a meditation. So meditation is to help us build and prepare ourselves to come out of cocooning, right, and being in incubation, and to make sure that we're totally okay with ourselves, to be totally okay with ourselves, to be at ease with yourself, to use the positive sides of a Gemini that is easy and light to ourselves, not to be heavy and demanding and heavy and dark on ourselves, to be light, to be connecting to this consciousness of light. So we're also going to use the letters of the upcoming month, Resh and Zayin, which is the letters of the month. And we're going to read the Zohar while we're in a meditation. So first of all, you want to just relax. Again, you want to take deep breaths, and obviously with your belly after today's class. You want to exhale also with your belly. And then you want to do this 3 times and make sure your exhale is always longer. Also to use your nose, not to use your mouth. And then you want to be present in your body. You want to be present in your body. You want to be present of what's going on, of everything that's happening, all the sensations of your body. You want to be conscious. You want to be connected to it. And you want to start to concentrate your consciousness in your heart. And you want to send your consciousness to the middle of the earth. And as you're going, you want to experience what earth means for you. Whether walking barefoot on the grass or on a sandy beach, whatever it is, try to feel it as much as you can. That moment when you remember, when you think about being on earth, what does it mean for you? And you want to then continue going deeper into the middle of the earth, where there's infinite amount of energy. And you want to activate all your senses. You want to feel, how does the core of the earth feel? How would it sound? How would it smell? How would it look? Activate all your senses. And then you want to start to send this energy from the bottom of the earth and send it to the top of your feet, to the bottom of your feet. And let it start coming up through your feet, your calves, your knees, your thighs, your buttocks, your whole body, your hands, your neck, your head, opening all your chakras, all your sphirot, Opening up, first of all, your root chakra at the base of your spine, color red, your groundedness, your security. The next chakra, your sacral chakra, is the color orange. It's your sexual energy, your physical energy, your creativity. Then the next chakra is your third chakra, right where the diaphragm is, your ability to express and hear other people's emotions. Express your emotions and also hear other people's emotions. Then your fourth chakra, which is in your heart, which is a beautiful green color, which is our ability to express love and also to receive love. And our fifth chakra, which is our throat chakra, where it's light blue, and that's where we have the ability to express ourselves and hear others as well. And then the next chakra is your third eye, which is a purple, beautiful amethyst color. So basically, you're filling them up all with energy, all with new energy, with new balance. And then reaching to the top, to the Keter, to your top Sphira, your top chakra, which is the crown or the Keter chakra, unifying and filling them all up with energy. And you want to start to see a beautiful ball of light forming above your head. This is called the Tselem or the Shekhinah. And then you want to see and pretend that you're in this ball of light. And everything around you is perfect. And you start to understand that everything is perfect. After you look through this ball of light, everything is perfect. And then you want to send this ball of light above your head, above the building you're in, go above our planet, go through layers and go through the entire universe, past the universe, and go through a layer of light and dark, light and dark, light and dark, light and dark, and come to a very, very bright layer of light, this very bright layer. And on top of it, it has beautiful golden hues. And you want to keep going up. You don't want to stop anywhere. You keep going up and you go to the next layer of light that feels like jello or thick water, liquid-like. You want to enter it and start going up as well. Keep going higher and higher. And you want to see an opening of light above you in the distance. Beautiful pearl-like, beautiful, relaxing, soothing light. And you want to go towards this light. And you want to take an inhale, and at an exhale, you want to go through this opening and enter the plane of the creator, the tree of life, the flawless universe. It's beautiful. At the beginning, you see sparkly pink and blue lights, golden, pearl-like energy. You want to go higher, where you enter just to the plane of energy, just creator's perfect unconditional love. This is where all the energy, everything comes from, all the wisdom, all the truth, all the enlightenment, all the healing, all the prosperity. Everything in our physical reality comes from this plane. And you want to melt your ball of light and become one with this energy. And then we're going to do some meditation, some downloads. And the first one we're going to open with connecting and receiving creator's unconditional love. So if you want to know what it means and what it feels like to have creator's perfect unconditional love, this energy, go to every level of your soul, every level of your belief, every single cell in your body, everything that you own and possess, your aura, everything that's around you. If you want that energy to come in, say yes. Now we also want to feel comfortable, feel protected, feel that we're ready for what's coming, feel safe and secure, and feel confident in ourselves, and feel okay with ourselves, and very, very comfortable with where we are, how we feel, what's going on, and to understand that no matter what, it's all for the best. So if you want to receive those downloads, also say yes. And if you wanna feel excitement for what's coming, the best way to anticipate something new and good is with excitement. So we want our excitement to be high. We want to feel excited. We want to experience excitement. We want to anticipate the things that are coming with happiness, joy, and excitement. If you want to know what it means and what it feels like, and that you are excited about what's coming, and you are certain about what's coming, and you are certain that what's coming is good and good for you and good for everyone around us, also say yes. And also, this week, we want to receive an ability to be more detailed with ourselves, to not run from details, not to be only connecting with the big picture, but also connecting to the details in life, to understand their purpose, their meaning, and why they are in our lives. And a lot to do with respect and appreciation. So if you want to respect and appreciate things that are in your life, you want to respect yourself, everything that's around you, everything that you're made out of, everything that came before you and helped you become who you are right now. Acknowledgement, gratitude, appreciation. So if you want to fully, firmly believe that I appreciate everything that I have been given, everything that has happened in my life, I appreciate it wholeheartedly. If you want to know what it means and what it feels like, also say yes. And also, we always want to activate our creativity right now. Right now is a time of creativity, the time of abstract thinking, thinking outside the box, getting new perspectives. So, if you want to know what it means and what it feels like, that you are open to new perspectives, that you are open to new creativity, that you are creative, you are wise, you are truthful, you are deep, you are insightful. If you want to receive all those downloads, also say yes. And also, of course, we want to send this amazing energy of the Creator, this unconditional love, this healing, this abundance, this prosperity, wisdom, energy of joy, peace, tranquility, from the Creator to every layer of our consciousness, every level of our consciousness, every level of our soul, every cell of our body, everything that we possess, to be filled with this incredible unconditional love, this energy of the Creator, and as well as send it to the entire world, to the city we're in, to our country, to our planet, to all the inhabitants of the world, all the frontline workers, everyone who's experiencing slight or difficulty, to send them this light of love and support. So if you want to participate in that, and if you want that download, also say yes. Okay, whenever you're ready, you can just rinse yourself in this energy, in this beautiful, perfect energy. Stay in it, don't leave. Stay in it as much as you can, and you can open your eyes. So, just as a reminder, this class is going to be posted on YouTube as well, most likely. I'm going to post it so you can listen to the recording, do the meditations again. You want to, the most important things are, there's going to be some is announcements, new moon of Gemini this Saturday night, 9 p.m. Marcus Weston is starting a new Kabbalah one. It's more for Europe in English next Wednesday, 27th at 2 p.m. New York time. I'm going to do a Deep Bekoach class also next Wednesday at 3:30 p.m. New York time, May 27th. And Shavuot is next Thursday to Friday. We stay up all night, so get ready if you can. Highly recommend. It's very powerful, very important. There's going to be an all-night stream that you can participate in. And I really miss you and love you and hope to see everyone soon. I'm going to mute everyone so we can. Oh,